It's the final showdown for the British Wave Sailing Association Tour, and the national titles will be decided in the southwest of England at the Franklin and Marshall Puravida Cornwall Wave Classic. It's a long drive to Gwydions in deepest Cornwall, but it's become an annual trek for die-hard windsurfers from all over the UK, arriving at the famous Sand Sifter Bistro and Bar, nestling in the beautiful dunes at Godrebi Towans, close to the beach where the event is headquartered. It is a challenge getting down to the beach with all the gear, but with a promising weather forecast and with a history of big winds and premium class waves, the event has drawn a good entry and there's lots of anticipation for the big weekend ahead.
Well, basically, we're in Cornwall for the last round of the British Wave Sailing Association Championships. So this is round 4, everybody's here. Final round for the amateurs, pros, masters and women's. Here the forecast is looking to improve. There's winds coming in tomorrow, swell coming in tomorrow. It's actually looking like classic conditions for this beach. The standard of the competition this year has been excellent and the top spots have been really closely fought across the board in the pros and the amateurs. So all of the competitors will be looking to work their way through a series of heats, climb up the ladder and have a chance at fighting for the top spot. The guys who have already done well on the tour, the top seeds coming into the comp, they're safe in the first few rounds, and then there'll be people looking to climb through and come back and have a challenge at them.
It's been an excellent BWA series so far, with the pro contest one of the closest, and with Tyree Classic winner Ben Profit going head-to-head with a determined Phil Horrocks.
If I won this, then basically I'd become the British champion, which is something I'm not done yet, so it would be quite a nice way to top everything off. As far as things go at this event, last year was pretty spectacular conditions, and for me it went really well and I won the event. And Ben actually finished 5th in that event and got knocked out in the earlier round by my younger brother who's sailing as well. And if that happens again, I'll be more than happy because that'll make me British champion. Coming into this event, the UK rankings at the moment, Ben is leading and I'm in 2nd place, and it's really tight. Basically, anything can happen, and either one of us could still win it. This year I've been sailing my best, and I do feel like there's more to come. But at the same time, I'm just enjoying my sailing now more than ever, so that's kind of nice to be able to do that. The windsurfing tour this year has been pretty similar to last year in terms of we had the same 4 events, and luckily for us, this year we've actually had 3 out of 3 results. So for the UK, that's a pretty good forecast, a pretty good set of results. It's hard to plan a windsurfing event because the one thing you can't control is the weather. So obviously you just pick a date in the calendar, and if it's windy, you get lucky. And this year we've been lucky 3 times in a row. Fingers crossed we're going to get lucky for a 4th.
The combined rankings of the BWA events so far show Ben Profit leading the table ahead of Horrocks, with Andy Chambers 3rd. But this deciding weekend is where it will be settled between the top 2. Arriving into the event and completing the final registration, everyone is psyching themselves up for the start next day, but all know that the weather is critical.
The forecast is pretty epic really, it's about as good as it gets. It's an 18-second period with a 4-metre swell. I think it's looking like I'll be on a 5.0. That's kind of like the best size for if you're not sure. It's kind of a strange one. It's like, gives you enough power to get out even if the wind's light, but there's like plenty of control.
It's looking alright actually. I'm quite surprised at how windy it is. Timo's out on 4.7, so I'm going to get my 4.7 rigs.
It's quite windy, waves are picking up. It's a good spot, but it's pretty tricky to get down the beach here, so I don't know, logistically this might be a bit of a nightmare, but hopefully it looks good conditions. I quite like it like this.
With southwesterly winds kicking in around 15 to 20 knots, but with low cloud and rain squalls, conditions aren't perfect, but will certainly make for some testing sailing. All of the classes entered, from amateurs to pros to master and ladies, should be in action today, but organisers are limited by the tides as the swell drops off when it's at its lowest. The pros have priority though, and the first part of the elimination ladder is 4 heats of 4 riders, with the best 2 scores from each heat advancing to the semi-finals. But first, they have to get to the beach down a long and treacherous cliff walk. Some take their complete rig, while others opt to rig on the beach, no doubt hoping they haven't left something behind. The wind is up and the waves are cranking. Ben Profit heads out into action, ready for the start of Heat 2. Jim Brooks Dowsett takes up the commentary.
Adam Lewis from Taunton drops into a wave and is looking for it to build up so he can start racking up the points. Bottom turns and carves up the face. Looking good for a while there, but the wave died out and not going to be one of his best scores. He'll go back out and try and hook in for some more. Now Andy King lines himself up and drops in with good speed. A little air, but again, probably more to come from him. Now the #1 ranked sailor on the tour, Ben Profit from Shrewsbury, who won in Tyree, is up and riding, straight into it. Went for the lip there, bottom turns and cuts back, really working this for all he can. Finishes with a little air and he'll be straight out for more. Moving on to Heat 2, and Jamie Hancock is up early on one of the better waves so far. Presently ranked 18th on the BWA World Tour, he's been sailing at the top level for a few years now. Nice moves here, really cranking across this face as it builds. Stylish off the lip there and keeps going, could be a good score for Jamie. Now James Cox into action, a very nice wave. No jumping in these conditions today, which he certainly enjoys. But unfortunately, he loses it at the end of the ride, there and down into the white water as he ran out of power. Now to Phil Horrocks in Heat 3 and all to battle for. Great aerial to start off, comes back into the wave and keeps it going, so all important points on the board. Getting through this first round is critical for Phil. He knows these waters well, so needs to get another decent wave to advance. Timo Mullen from Ireland onto a solid wave and big air. Great move from the 39-year-old, showing the younger guys how it's done and sure to be in good points.
First heats are completed and the judges have put through most of the top seeds as expected, but the conditions aren't easy and Andy King is eliminated while James Cox is too, so the standard is certainly right up there.
It's really tricky conditions today. I think we're going to see a lot of up and down results. There's no givens today. You know, when it's just cross off like it is, just riding, it's about if you pick the right wave. And I had Adam Lewis in that heat. He's not really a wild card or anything, but he's got some moves. And I heard he just pulled off like a really nice tacker off the lip, give him a 9 point. So then it was fighting for me, like me and King, to be second. So I've got to step it up a little bit, but it's good to take King down early in that round. Yeah, it's going to be a hard day today, I think. I've got my work cut out.
Battling alongside the men on the next beach are the ladies group, who have recorded their biggest entry of the year and are out in exactly the same conditions and setting an ever-proving level of contest. Don't underestimate the skill needed to sail competitively in these waves. These girls are tough and talented.
You can see all the girls here sailing hard in the tough conditions. Current favourite, Sarah Bibby, battled well to keep second place. Sarah was just held off by a solid performance from Lucy Robson. This is not the first contest she's been in, but after 3 years off the scene and becoming a mum, it's great to see her back in first place here in Cornwall.
Through to the semi-finals in the event is a continually rising star in the shape of Chris Murray, who at 23 now spends his time training and working on windsurfing promotions for his sponsors. Coming from Fareham on the south coast of England, he made his name through the BWA Tour.
Well, basically I kind of came up through the youth kind of category. So I started off as a junior at 16 doing all the wave stuff, and then I think from 18 to 20 as the youth. And so I kind of won those events, and then from there kind of once I finished college, went to Hawaii and trained and sort of got a bit of money together just from working, and then gathered some sponsorship, and then now I'm on the pro. Been pro for 2 years now, and Franklin & Marshall, the sponsor of this event, are now sponsoring me and helping me out to do all the competitions and travel and train to windsurf. So it's been pretty good, really. I think like inspiration to windsurf is basically just because it's so much fun. I think really. I mean, I always watched videos of guys kind of like Josh Stone and also Brian Talmer. And they're always having so much fun, and I always thought I really want to be able to do that. And now kind of trying to take on that more like entertainment side of windsurfing and have fun with it, and you know, just try and keep it entertaining for everyone if possible.
So can Chris make it to the finals here in Cornwall? The scenery may be beautiful, but the pressure is on as we move into the final stages of the Franklin & Marshall Puravida Cornwall Wave Classic. Swithians Beach in the southwest of England is the setting for the Franklin and Marshall Puravida Cornwall Wave Classic, which is the final stop of the British Wave Sailing Association's 2011 tour and where the titles will be decided. With the first heats of the pro contest complete, 8 sailors make up the semi-finals. The top 2 seeds of Ben Profit and Phil Horrocks on opposite sides of the ladder, with the wind and the swells continuing.
Epic, yeah, it's a lot of fun out there today, like some of the best conditions you get in England really, and I think I sail best in heats when I'm having fun, and today I'm having a lot of fun, so it's going alright so far.
It's rare to get conditions like this in the UK, you know, it's cross offshore winds, perfect down the line riding. Hopefully we've got more of it to come, so fingers crossed.
Into the first of the semi-final clashes, 4 sailors and 2 advance with the best 2 waves to count.
Chris Murray is up and onto a building wave. Great control here as he slides across the top. Great ride from the Franklin and Marshall sailor on starboard and touching it. Next up, it's last year's tour champion and simmer rider Ben Profit. Great wave selection. Nice off the lip, cuts back and good speed. Hits the lip again for some air. Fully in control and what looks like a good score for the defending tour champion. Sailing for JP and Pride, Andy Chambers is ranked 14th in the world in freestyle and was the British freestyle champion. But he moved into waves a few years ago and has been performing ever since. Huge cutback off the lip, really working the wave. Not sure this is going to be enough to advance. Adam Lewis came through the last round with some ease, but is facing a tougher challenge here. Great control on the wave, really nice move and good landing. Chris Murray onto another wave, but he seems underpowered. Into the lip, and made it, but seems to be struggling with the wind. There's bubble out the back, onto a decent wave. But again, looking somewhat underpowered. Might be a lull in the wind, but this is a 20-minute heat, so time to go round and try again. Simmer Styles Ben Profit, no problems for him, fully powered, and a nice tacker. A solid aerial for Murray, but the wave is dropping back and he may be in trouble as the others are scoring well now. Ben's found another good wave and bangs home an aerial. Lands it spot on and still riding. No mistakes from him as the heat comes to a close, but who will advance?
I think like I had one wave, it was like a bit of a turning point really, and I managed to come in, get a nice turn, and then like got a bit more confident, and then it all went from there. But yeah, really happy.
2-1 decision for the judges, so pretty close heat between me and Adam. I would quite like to go a bit further, but there's always a double, so hopefully I'll do better then.
Towards the end I got it together, got a couple of waves. I saw Lewis get some good waves, he was firing, and even the other boys, they were going pretty good too.
So it's Adam Lewis and Ben Profit that did enough to impress the judges and claim their places in the final 4. Next is the second semi-final and a must-win heat for Phil Horrocks to stand a chance of beating Ben for the UK title in that final heat.
He's up and onto a wave, fully charged, looking confident but no real points as the wave closes out on him. All he can do now is work the white water and head back out to find a better ramp. Out the back it's Dave Horrocks, Phil's brother, onto a wave, and what a dilemma for him. Good ramp here, big effort there but loses it and he's down. No sentiment from Timo Mullin, the big wave expert looking to advance at all costs. And this is an awesome ride from the Irish star. Hits the lip, cuts back. He knows how to work the wave and that must have been a good score. Lining up is Jamie Hancock. The Gastro and Taboo rider was ranked 18th in the world last year and starting to make his move through this heat. Pressure is on for Horrocks, time is running out and he's not been on form this heat. But that's more like it, one-handed off the lip. Is that going to be enough to get him on the judges' scorecards? He looks to be struggling otherwise. Is it wave selection or has he just been unlucky? The waves are out there though. Timo is onto another, and a huge aerial from Mullin. Keeps it going. Added to his earlier ride, this could be enough to see him make it through. And here's Hancock. Could this be the wave of the heat for him? Huge air. Stylish and controlled. Good points. Phil Horrocks again. Can he score here? He's definitely down on the judges' cards, but that's a disaster for the man currently ranked second. not up to his usual standard. Is he making an exit here? He was waiting for the wave to build, and now he pulls the trigger. And a classic goiter from Mullin. That's enough. He's sure to progress now, but is it all over for Horrocks?
Well, I believe I got through, so really stoked to get into another final. Also, Phil, I'd say, was probably the guy, he's the last year's winner, and he was the guy to beat, I reckon, for the contest, because these are pretty much Phil's ideal conditions.
I struggled a little bit in my second round heat. It was just at the stage where the tide was starting to turn, and in the previous heat the waves have been really good at wind, so I thought, well, I'll stick in that area because I've had success there before. And I think in the heat, when it actually came to it, it kind of went a bit fickle, and the better waves were further downwind, so I think Timo and Jamie got through on that.
So the heat is complete, and the tour result would look like this now if Ben were to win the final. However, if the conditions hold, and if there is time to complete a double elimination, there is still an opportunity for Phil to come back and beat Profit. But the pendulum certainly looks to be swinging towards Ben, retaining his tour title now. We are set for the final between 4th seed Adam Lewis, 15th seed Timo Mullin, 17th seed Jamie Hancock, and the number 1 seed Ben Profit.
It's hard to know which sail to take, but yeah, hopefully the waves will get up with the push of the tides. We're just on hold for now, and then yeah, we'll get into the final.
It looks pretty windy, so it's a bit of a hard choice on what gear to go for. So go safe and go a bigger gear, or go smaller and then you can do more rad stuff.
It's getting quite tricky now. Everyone's got their small stuff down. You always want to be on your smaller stuff because that's always, the most fun.
It looks like the conditions got a bit better now. It's going to be a tough final. We've got Timo, we've got Adam, and obviously got Jamie Hancock sailing really good this morning. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's picked up, and I don't know what sail to take. So I'm just a bit nervous.
It's a cold and rain-swept Saturday in Cornwall, but the wind has picked up and the tide has turned, so the scene is set for some classic wave riding. The judges are ready and the warning flags are down to start a tense single elimination finale.
Timo goes again. He's looking really fired up today, and he's picked a big wave here. Big aerial. Too big, in fact. Crashes out on landing, and now he's in the rinse. He may not be one of the biggest guys on tour, but Jamie Hancock is fearless in the waves and clearly determined to win here. He's nice and smooth, very fluid across the wave. No mistakes, playing it safe in the early part of the heat. Here comes Ben, great speed down the wave. Lining up for the lip once again, and big air. Good recovery. He could have lost the landing, but worked it to keep going. There's Adam Lewis back ashore. Maybe a problem with his kit, or he needs to change it for some reason. But he's losing lots of time out of his 20-minute final. Meanwhile, Hancock is seizing his chance, choosing his waves well. Beautiful off the lip, and cruises into the white water. Now he comes back onto it, still going with the same wave and hoping to maximise his score. Looking good so far. Mullin on again, holding back, waiting for it to form. Here he goes, sheets in. And he's gone over the handlebars. Tried for a goiter, but his feet slipped out of the straps. Out the back again, and onto a decent wave. Adam Lewis cuts back onto the face, lines up the lip, good aerial, and another one for the judges. The waves are certainly helping here. Logo high sets, rolling in at Gwythian, right on cue. There's no stopping Timo. He's made a quick recovery and is still going. That's real Irish fighting spirit. Selecting his waves carefully, Ben drops in and carves again. Another aerial, not as good as his last one, but the wave is still on. Excellent cutback and still going. Another lip for Profit. This is really adding up now, and he'll be pleased with the points. But here's Hancock as we get into the closing minutes. He's had a great heat and not finished quite yet. Big air, he bails out and through the rig away. He knew what was coming, that was spectacular, but won't win him the final. Now is this the one Timo has been waiting for? Forming up nicely. Oh, that lip came across and smacked the board at exactly the wrong second. He's getting worked in there. Lewis back up now, big wave, great cutback off the lip, and he's lost it over the falls. Big bailout for Adam, and it looks as though he may have snapped his mast. Mullin heading for a wave, and another big wipeout over the front.
Misery for Lewis, trying to salvage his gear in the heat, A snapped mast and end of story for him, and what a sad way to end the final. Commiserations from Ben as they come back ashore to find out who's won the single elimination final and who will be in pole position going into the double elimination planned for tomorrow.
I literally have no idea if that was good or bad. I didn't see any of the other guys, so no idea really.
Oh, it was really hard. It was really windy. I changed gear at the start, which was a good move. But like when you go to hit your aerial, it's like about that much chop on the wave as you're like bottom turning, so it's really hard.
I think I got like one more wave after that. Was coming in, and I was, in fairness, you know, I was like, I've got one wave, like go for broke, and rather than go for it broke, but no, it was all right.
I don't know, we'll have to see how it goes. Like I said, it's not what I wanted to do, but it was okay. I think everyone's going to be very similar, going to be difficult for the judges. But again, I didn't see what the other boys did, but it sounds very similar. Just everyone's pretty level pegging, I think.
It's very close to the top, isn't it? I mean, you kind of go a little bit one way, a little bit the other, and then somebody else might have won. And I mean, I've been lucky throughout the year, and then today maybe just not my day, which is frustrating, but well, what can you do? Try again next year.
The four finalists line up as head judge Duncan Coombs announces their results.
It's Jamie Hancock. Ben Prophet, runner-up today, taking second place. Well done, Ben. How do you feel?
Good, really good, really good. But it is just the first day, so in the balance of things, we got another day tomorrow, so I don't want to make the #1 mistake again, carried away and go over happy, and then tomorrow have a shocker and slip down to second. So fingers crossed we get the conditions tomorrow and it'll be good, and it goes well again, like today.
But those cautious fears prove unfounded as the wind on the final day is insufficient to complete the contest proper, meaning that Saturday's results stand and Jamie is declared the winner, rounding off an excellent BWA Tour.
This year's gone better than we could have ever imagined. I mean, this event just shows you how sort of exciting, challenging and how popular wave sailing is, and we're leaving it in really good shape in 2011. You know, we've had an amazing fleet here. We've had 41 in the amateurs, 16 full, you know, a full set of pros turned up. I mean, there's 13 girls at this event, and that's really important for us because, you know, after all, what we're looking to do is we're looking to get a model working that's professional, that fits in with the way that the PWA are running as well, and we're certainly getting a lot of credibility on the world stage as well. People are seeing what we're doing in Britain and looking to emulate that all over Europe as well. So I'm really proud and with what we've achieved, and we've got a great team that's enabled us to do that.
The final results count towards the overall points for the year. Jamie Hancock adding to his tally here in Cornwall with Timo third. Lewis Moroney took the honours in the amateur class. Mark Lloyd won the Masters, and Lucy Robson was the surprise winner in the ladies section. But overall, the BWA Tour title is retained by Ben Prophet, edging out Phil Horrocks in the end with Andy Chambers third. Alexi Gader wins the amateurs overall, while Sarah Bibby wins in the ladies section, and Mark Lloyd is confirmed as a well-deserved Masters champion. So another title for Ben Prophet, who seems just as motivated as ever to try again next year.
I mean, the thing is that winning the British title, it never gets old, you know. You always want to win it. I enjoy competing and I enjoy doing the competitions, what we've got. We've got more and more people turning up at events. So good here to see how many amateurs we had. I think we had over 40 amateurs, which is just going to show how good of, you know, work the BWA are doing. And everyone's interested in doing competition, so it feels pretty good to do it. I don't do it for the money or anything like that, because there isn't great money in it. I do it for, you know, the love of windsurfing and, you know, out there competing and seeing the boys at the events, you know.
The trophies are awarded at the Franklin and Marshall Puravida Cornwall Wave Classic to all the winners. But it's Jamie Hancock who takes the pro title here, while Ben Prophet is once again crowned the British Windsurfing Association Pro Champion.